Hello ladies and gentlemen, and here we are at the WERSI OAX 1, and what I'm going to be doing showing you is how to import samples into this instrument, and obviously this works with all WERSI OAX models. So to do this, pretty easy. Make sure your USB stick with your samples is plugged into the instrument, and then simply tap one of the bars. The top green bar is for the upper, the red bar is for the lower, and the blue bar is for your pedals. So in this case, I'm just loading these samples into the instrument so that I can recall them at a later date. So what I'm going to do is just tap on the black bar that you see with no name. Then I'm going to go to sounds. So over here on the right hand side, press sounds. And then what we want to do is go to import at the bottom of this menu here. So click import. Select your USB stick, as you can see, USB stick hard disk, tap there, and then you will see your packs that you've got or software that you've got on your USB stick. In this case, I'm going to go into the wonderful Wurlitzer folder, and I'm going to load the first sound, which is ballad pipes. So just tap on there. You will see a file called balladpipes.sts. This is the file that the keyboard can see, read and load. So what we need to do is just simply tap on that bar and it will highlight in red, and then where you see the big green import, just press import. The keyboard will then automatically pick an empty slot in your user sounds, so it knows that effectively number 11, as you can see here, number 11 is blank. So I'm just going to tap save. After a couple of seconds, there we go, you can see that Ballad Pipes has now appeared in my list as a sound that's available for me to load. So all I do to load it is press the green button that says load. And there we have. And we have our sound. Okay, so that's one sound loaded. Let's do it again so that you remember how to do this. So at the moment we've already got ballad pipes highlighted, so that's where we're going to put this voice so that we can hear it. So click sounds on the right hand side of the screen, and then at the bottom you'll see import. Click import, select the drive on the left hand side. You see where it says D? That's where my drive is. Just tap there and then my packs will appear on the screen. So here I've got a Klaus anniversary pack. I'm going to highlight that, and I'm going to load the, let's have a quick look. Where is it? There should be, yeah, there we go, for Klaus's famous sax. So now I've tapped on that bar, I've got a file here called Klaus's famous sax.sts. STS is the file that you want to choose, because that's the file that will load into the OAX. So simply tap the bar and then click import on the screen. It's now saying slot number 12 is empty. Do I want to put it there? Yeah, fine. So I simply click save. For some reason it comes up with the typical WERSI error. I don't know what that was, but anyway, it's there. So now the sound has loaded. Okay. Oh dear, typical WERSI. There we go. Right, okay, so let's go and do another one. So if we click import, choose my D drive, go to our Klaus anniversary pack, and let's pick the violin, Klaus violin. So we've got klausviolin.sts, tap that, click import. It's going to go into slot 13. There we go. Now this is loaded fine. Click load. And there we have our lovely Klaus Wunderlich violin. And this is how you do it. Now, my advice to you would be to simply do this process. Go to Sounds, Import, select your drive, go to the pack that you want to load. And doing this in a logical way go down the list one by one and keep a track of which voice you've loaded, because in this case we've got quite a few voices in this pack, and I can guarantee with the number of button pushes, as you keep doing this, you're going to pick one and then you're going to load it, and then you think, I've already started this one, I've done this one before. So keep a little log as you're going through the list to make sure that you know which ones you've loaded, because once you've done this process you don't need to do it again. Okay, so once you've loaded the sound, that's it. You can take the USB stick out, and every time you turn your instrument on, the sounds are going to be there. All right, so in this case, we'll carry on. Import. So we're going to load this into number 14. Save. 2 seconds. There we go. It's appeared. Blackpool Solo. If I click load. Okay. There's the sound. And I can keep doing this for each voice that I want to put into the keyboard. It's really easy to do. It's not too complicated. The only one problem that you may encounter, and this is dependent on how new your product is or which version you're running, if you have got loaded the latest 2.9 or 2.91, these samples will not load. You will have a problem. An error message may appear on the screen. You may have no audio because there is a bug in the latest 2 versions. So I would recommend, certainly from my point of view, I would recommend installing version 2.85 or 2.86. Both work perfectly. And as they say, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So in my case, this is on 2.85 and it works like a dream. There's no problems with it whatsoever. I always recommend, if you're going to download an update from WERSI, to give it 6 months before you actually install. Then all the problems are ironed out, and then if there's any little glitches that maybe have been unnoticed, they'll be spotted and rectified, and then you're safe. So in this case, I'm not updating, certainly for a while. This works fine as it is, and it allows me to do what I want to do, so I can actually load these samples. So just finally, for one last recap, so it sort of sinks in, highlight the voice that you want, go to Sounds, go to Import, select the drive that you'll have your voices on, which in my case is D, select the pack that you want to install, which in this case is Klaus Anniversary, then go down to the voice that you want, so I'm going to choose the WV sax, highlight that voice, click Import. It then knows where there's a space, click Save. There we go. So it's now appeared at the bottom of my list in sound number 15. To load it, just press load. And maybe the volume or something of that voice isn't to your liking. So what you can simply do is just double tap on the voice. That then brings up on the screen Easy Sound Edit. Tap that once. And here you can adjust the volume. If I want to add a little bit more bass, or even adjust the reverb. And then what I can do is I can save that as an edited voice. So I can go save, and that now, when I call up that voice, will actually have the voice that I've edited to the taste that I like. So for example, let's go and pick a different voice. Let's go to Sounds, and let's go to the Klaus violin. Choose load. Double tap on the voice, and then click Easy Sound Edit. And again, the level is set at 79. I'll increase that to 100. I can change the treble. I can adjust the amount of reverb. I can change the chorus, the delay, the attack, the release. Now be careful with the release, because the release, as it says, can make it very long. So just generally keep the release in the middle where it should be. unless you want a Mantovani string sound, and then you can increase the release and it will give those strings that sort of lush, long sustain that you expect. And there you have it. It's pretty easy. Again, I'll click save on that because I like that. Okay, save, and then come back out. So loading voices into the instrument is pretty easy unless you're using 2.9 or 2.91, and then avoid it like the plague unless you've had an instrument delivered with it installed. And then I would recommend maybe you speak to your dealer and ask to have version 2.85 or 2.86, because that then will give you a fully functional instrument that loads and imports samples no problem. If there's an update for the WERSI for the bug fix, then I'll let you know as soon as it comes out. But I hope to do a few more of these little tutorial videos just to give you a little insight into how to use and how to load and how to get the most out of. Even things like combination voices. For example, we've adjusted that volume because if you actually load the Delta percussion voice in from factory, it's very, very quiet. And I've flagged this with Uli a couple of times, but it seems to be quiet compared to all the other voices in the instrument. So I simply went in, double tap, go to sound edit, increase the volume to 100, and you get a much better sound. And you can again adjust the reverb. Save, tap save, and then that will overwrite that saved voice. Now again, I'm just sort of drifting off here, but one of the things that I do tend to do, the mono and the stereo control, the authentic Klaus sounds obviously didn't seem to have this wide voice that seems to be applied if you use the stereo. So some voices I'll turn that off, some voices I'll turn it on depending on the piece of music that I'm playing. But there's lots and lots of controls that you can edit and play with on here. So yeah, so there we go. How to load an instrument voice into your OAX, and how to use the easy sound editor if you want to just have a little bit of a tweak with it. There you go. Okay, until next time, take care. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment if you did, and if you found this video useful, let us know. Okay, take care, all the best, bye.